This video is intended for the students that are having a hard time uploading large format files to the campus website. Alright, so usually what happens is we have these big projects, and the big projects encumber lots of textures, lots of materials, lots of files, and before you even attempt this, what I want you to do is look at what you're submitting. Do not submit anything I'm not asking for. If I'm asking for only TGAs, please don't have any TIFFs. If I'm only asking for Maya files, please don't submit a bunch of OBJs. Only turn in what is required. 2, if it's a project, like let's say if it's an Unreal project, like a UPK file, make sure inside that project only the models that are being asked for are in there. No other models, no other textures. So clean up your workflow. If I see that you haven't cleaned and you're doing this workflow, I have to mark you down a little bit, because this is the final thing that you would do, worst case scenario. Another thing is I need all the files in the file submission area. I can't have them via Mediafire or any of the other sites shared. It's campus policy to have them inside the submission area. I cannot accept those that are not in there. So this is how it works. I have 2 files here, 600 megs. So how much is too much? Well, the campus will hold about 250 megabytes. Anything over that, this is a good workflow to do. Anything below that, probably not a good workflow. It's just you're submitting on a Sunday night with everybody else that's trying to submit. So here's 2 files. If I right click on these, I have the option on my computer to add to archive. I get this option by going and downloading a program called WinRAR. I've used this since I was a kid. It's a great application. So rarlab.com. You can get the 32 or 64-bit version. It is in trial, but it's a 100% working copy. I've never had a full version. I don't even know who would get a full version, to be honest with you. Had it since I was a kid, so good stuff. Put it over here. So once you install that, you do get the option to go to here. So now you can do this to a folder, you can do this to several files, you can do this to files and folders at the same time. I'm just going to choose, let's say, this one file, because that way it doesn't take so long. I'll right click on it, add to archive, and then up here I get the archive name. I can browse to wherever I want on the hard drive to place that. I can put it in RAR or zip format. You can choose either or. It doesn't really matter to me. I can handle both. I would leave the compression method as normal. Anything higher just gets a little skeptical sometimes with the submission. If it's a few kilobytes off, it will be corrupt. Alright, and then you have all these different profiles. Well, I put a profile in here. It's 100 megs. So you can get this by, here's 1 meg, because we know this to be a 3.5-inch floppy way back when. That's 1 meg, 1.457 megs. So this is 100 megs. Now certainly there's a lot of other things in here. I would leave most of this stuff alone. If you add any of those, I might not be able to open your file. I'll put my first name, last name, and maybe the unit. Okay. And then hit OK. Now that one file, definitely too big to submit. It's going to be broken up into at least 2 RARs. Probably 2.5 RARs. So keep that to a bare minimum. Like as I said, 250 megs. This is anything above that, this is a good workflow. Anything below that, it's probably your internet connection or you're submitting last minute or something like that. So just keep that in mind. So here's the two files, and it's still going. And I think it's pretty obvious what you do now. I mean, what you would do is you would upload these to the website. Please do not rename them or it will not work. Keep them the way they are. Alright, so that is how you submit large files to the submission area at IADT. Enjoy.